Greetings, loved ones. Today we're going to talk about 23 ways survivors can collect evidence of abuse. Help us get these messages out. Please subscribe to our channel, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit the like button and the notification bell, and please share these messages with others. You never know. Just by doing so, you could save a life. The more evidence you have, the better your case, and there is a safe way to do it. Like I said in the last episode, in the fictional world of movies and TVs, you'll see detectives interviewing witnesses after a crime while forensics team in matching white lab coats, look for fingerprints, gather up evidence, put it in plastic bags, and photograph broken windows. But in real life, things are different. In our last episode, we discussed the importance of collecting abuse to assure you have a strong case in court. We also discussed a few ways you could collect evidence. Today we're going to give you 23 ways survivors can collect evidence of abuse. Number 1, any written rules imposed by the abuser. Abusers love to impose rules on their victims. Remember, it is about power and control. And one thing you could do is you can ask them to write down the rules for you with the excuse, "So I don't forget." You can then later take a photo of the rules he demands written by his own hands. Number 2, information about abuse of previous partners. Find out if he has abused previous partners. Talk to them if you can. Note down what they say. They could be a witness in your case to substantiate a pattern of behavior. And find out if she had taken out a protection order on him too. Number 3, proof that you are being financially marginalized. This could be texts or voicemails or witnesses who have seen or heard him controlling the financials. This could be bank evidence, such as stealing your money, opening credit cards in your name, etc. Number 4, records proving you provided most of the child care. If you have children, you can document who has been caring for the children. Number 5, personal journal of physical and non-physical incidents, also with the children. This one is really important. Journal every day about what's going on, how you feel, things he said and did. It could be dangerous to keep a physical journal in the house in the event he finds it and destroys it, but you could store the files online in the cloud via a password-protected OneDrive or Dropbox that he can't have access to. Write out your journal on the computer, but save it in the cloud and not on your computer. Number 6, you can keep a calendar indicating days and frequency of abuse. Again, I suggest you do this online, so he cannot have access to it. Use Google Calendar or something like that to mark the days he was abusive. Like, this day he was verbally abusing, saying blah, 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 blah. This day he hit me, etc. Number 7, video recordings of arguments or conversations. If at all possible, record your conversations and arguments. A judge who can see what happened will be more likely to decide in your favor. But again, store these videos on the cloud under a password. Number 8, audio recordings of arguments or conversations. If you can't video record your arguments, then put your recording app on the front page of your phone. Where's my phone? Put it on the front page of your phone, and when he starts going crazy, just pick up your phone, slide it, hit the app, put the phone face down, and hit the record button when he goes crazy. Save all his voicemails as evidence too. Again, store this all on the cloud. Number 9, photos of any injuries. Make sure you take photos or videos of any injuries you sustain. If you've got to go to the doctor or the hospital, have them call in authorities to take photos or videos of your injuries. This type of evidence will demonstrate the extent of the violence to a judge. Number 10, medical reports of your injuries or stress-related diagnosis. When you see a doctor or a therapist, have them officially document your injuries and diagnosis. This is a third-party official validation of the violence that can be used in court. Number 11, medical reports of your family members' injuries. If children or even other family members or friends are injured by your partner or verbally abused, have them get these injuries, physical injuries, documented and photographed by medical authorities. Number 12, police reports. Anytime the police are called, they must file a report. So make sure you get copies of each report the police make. This gives you more official documentation of the violence. Number 13 are emails, texts, or social media messages from your abuser. I always tell clients, don't answer calls or texts from their abuser. Let it all go to voicemail and text. And then you want to take screenshots of this abuse on your social media accounts. Save the text he sends to you, save the voicemails. All of this is evidence to help in your case. Number 14, screenshots of repeated calls, emails, texts, or voicemails from the abuser. If your abuser is bombing you with calls and texts, screenshot it to show that he called 20 times in a row when you didn't answer, or he sent you 100 abusive texts in a row. This will demonstrate the escalation of the violence to a judge. Number 15, verbal accounts and testimony from any witnesses. Talk to family and friends who might have witnessed events and have them write down what they saw and ask them if they would be called as witnesses in your case. Number 16, this is documentation showing workplace incidents where abuser stalked or harassed you. If your abuser has followed you to work or showed up at work and became violent, record these events in your journal along with the names of the people who witnessed what happened. When abusers begin doing these things, these kind of activities, it shows an escalation in the violence to a judge. Number 17, photos of weapons used to harm or threaten. If your abuser has used any weapons against you, take photos of them later. If he strangled you with a cord, take a photo of the cords and the marks on your neck. If he cut you with a knife, take photos of the cuts and take photos of the knife, if you can, before it's cleaned. Number 18, screenshots or links showing images or videos your abuser posted without your consent. Unfortunately, couples like to take sexy photos of each other for personal use. Sometimes aggressors force their victims to make videos or sexy photos. If he posts these things on social media without your consent, screenshot them. Many times, abusers will threaten their victims with these photos and videos. Number 19, photo or video of items damaged or in disarray. After a violent episode, take pictures of the mess in your home, the holes in the walls, the broken items on the floor, etc. This is crime scene evidence. Number 20, screenshot of any social networking site containing evidence of abuse, harassment, or stalking. If your abuser begins to harass you on Facebook or Instagram, screenshot these attacks and save them as evidence of abuse. Number 21, recordings of voicemails or phone conversations. If your abuser has called you and is harassing and abusing you on the phone, record these conversations to document the abuse. Number 22, details of any stalking incidents. If your abuser has been following you, showing up at your work or other places, take notes, and if you can, take pictures or videos of them doing this. I had a boyfriend I broke up with, and when I went to the bank, I'd be sitting in the line at the bank in my car, for the automatic car teller thing, and I could see him in his car circling the block. He would be there and he'd be looking at me. I see him when I went to the grocery store. I saw him in his car watching me, or in the store watching me. He even went so far as to stalk me in a hospital while one of my children were there. The doctors and nurses told me they saw him hovering in the hallways. I showed them a picture of him. And my neighbors told me that at night he was outside writing down the license plates of all of the cars outside my apartment. So document this. Number 23, veterinary records of any pet abuse. Many times aggressors abuse the pets we so love. Document it. If you must take your fur baby to the vet for injuries, have them document it in their report and get a copy. There's a lot you can do to document your abuse, and the more evidence that you have, the stronger your case will be. But again, make sure you store your evidence in a safe place at a friend or family member's house, in the cloud with your lawyer or advocate, etc. I have investigated more than 6,000 cases. Evidence is the key to winning a case. He said, she said, just doesn't cut it. With 1 in 3 women experiencing domestic violence worldwide and 15 million children witnessing this violence each year, the question is not if you will encounter a victim of violence. The question before God is, what will you do when you do encounter them? You could be the person who saves a life. You are called. We are all called to be champions for justice. Those who suffer violence, they need to know that those who love them and those who don't even know them will step out, reach out to them, and give them the help and courage they need to leave before it's too late. Help us get these messages out. Subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit the like button, the notification bell, and please share these messages with others. You never know. Just by doing so, you could save a life. If you're a victim of violence, listen to me now. You are valued. You are loved. You are intelligent. You are beautiful. God does not want you to suffer violence. He wants you to live free from violence in peace and tranquility. You're not alone. There is a way out. It's not your fault, and abuse is not love. If you're a victim of violence, please reach out to somebody today. If you find yourself in a dangerous situation, call 911 for help. And if you know of a child suffering violence, please tell the authorities. In our next episode, we're going to talk about how to record phone calls and how to save texts and voicemail. Until then, God bless you.